Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Bleed Out Tournament. I am joined tonight by the one and only Rails Barlow. How are you doing? How are you doing, Rails?
I'm doing pretty well, Kissme. How are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty well too. I'm currently just trying to set everything up because I'm using a different video thing. Let me see. This should work. All right, this should work now. You guys should be fine, I think. But all right, let me try and hop back into the game.
I think pretty much all the players from both teams are actually here right now. We are doing a expected best of two series right here. So home and away matches between teams France and teams Paragon. That's your number 3 seed starting off in the tournament versus your number 14 seed. It's actually 13 seed rather in the tournament. So actually no, were France the 4 seed? I'm pretty sure France were the 4 seed, weren't they?
Yeah, France were
The
the
4 versus 13. I was
yeah.
close. I was close.
Yeah, remember Team France are the top 8.
Right. So, I mean, depending on how things go on the home server for Team Paragon, we could see a second game played, but if it's just a colossal blowout on the server, then we will see what happens. But it looks as though everyone, as I said, is in the server, and I am really excited, actually, to see France play, just because I haven't seen France play in a little while. I've seen them scrim maybe a couple times, but not in a match. I didn't watch their game from last week yet, so I am really, really excited to see exactly how they play. And then, yeah, Paragon as well. Lots of high expectations from the North American seed. And I gotta say, this Surplus server that we're on, somehow we have, like, almost, I don't want to say almost even pings, but because Everlasting's from the United States, it's pretty damn close. So, as soon as you ready up Kissme, we'll be able to take it live.
These pills.
Yeah, really decent first hit right there for a setup that had no boomer. And real quick, let's do that roster rundown. So for Team France, currently on the Survivor, hailing from France, it's going to be Grin, Everlasting, Toph, and Keenum.
Watch out! Reloading.
Lucifer. He put the last part in the last part of his name, so it's scrolling off the screen, but he did technically follow the rules. He followed the sign-up rules, and we do have a crash right here coming out from Team France. Our North American is drunk. Oh boy, because Everlasting is obviously hailing from the North American scene, and it looks as though we are going to be going back live here off of the pause. We do have a witch up right past that first alarm car. Tank is going to be at 62%, and Team France are going to sit here, clear out some common because they know Team Paragon has a hit. It's going to be a Spitter, Hunter, Smoker, and a Charger. Survivors inching their way forward here, Kissme.
Reloading.
No, he's on their team. I believe he's either the 5th or the 6th.
Reload.
Shit! That long-necked bitch hit me!
Through that playground.
Reloading!
Reloading.
Reloading!
Hey, I'm reloading.
At this point, they were going to bounce out to the field there because they knew I think the full hit was up, and we do have a pull going out with a boom onto Everlasting in the front. The tank is up in the hands of Lucifer. A little bit of chip damage going in. Charger going for the long charge is going to get shut down, and that bot smoker is still just going to wander around, and that's odd. We really only saw one full hit from Paragon pre-tank, but the damage is okay for that kind of situation. I mean, at the same point in time, there's a lot of health still on France, and this tank doesn't usually wipe, especially not on Ace Mod from what I've seen. Indeed he is, so our tank is going to run around on the roof here, pushing the survivors forward, as a matter of fact. Smoker, Boomer, Jockey for his support, turning around. Madden get a nice punch on the code. Boomer gets a beautiful double boom, and we do have a pull and a 2-cap going out. That was unfortunate that the Jockey got on one of the boom survivors, not the greener. That would have been perfect. The clear does go out on the Smoker after the in-cap. Lucifer is going to work on the survivor over here. Actually managed to get a nice multi-punch on to both Nick and Rochelle right there, pushing into the corner, and that is a great amount of damage thanks to everything landing right there on the side of that house. Like, usually that does not happen, but that Boomer came in as that tank rolled in, and as that happened, the survivors popped the Boomer after the Boomer got a single vomit there. So that was a double boom plus a double cap landing. Lucifer, excellent choices for his punches, and the survivors are going to be in, I would say, pretty bad shape after a tank like that, as we talked about, that doesn't usually have that high damage capacity. No pills. Boomer going in again, getting a nice single boom. Hunter, Charger, and a Spitter for the rest of the hit, which is probably going to save until that force spawn gets back up. So apparently, how long is your mic going to be muted for, Kissme? Just a little while, right? Oh, it busts until half. Alright, well then I will keep giving the commentary here for this half of the round. Hunter, Charter, Spitter, and another spawn coming into queue. That would be a Smoker for the next hit from Team Paragon. There are 2 sets of pills apparently that Team France found, and Paragon decided to hit inside. Hunter bouncing around. Nice double cap. Almost, actually, that was a momentary tri-cap that lands on top of the survivors right there. Ace Mod Spit doing an okay amount of damage to that health bonus and damage bonus on the survivors. Obviously, they have not hit Kinium yet, who is carrying a vast majority of the health bonus right now. 95 health still on him. And I feel as though this is probably a little bit worse than France probably would have wanted coming out of the first map like this, especially due to the fact that the tank was in the position that it was. They did not eat that much damage pre-tank, but then afterwards, eating that last hit right there is probably going to put them in a less position than was optimal. Jockey trying to get some distraction right there. Nothing really going. Jockey is still alive. Nice boom landing onto Rochelle, however. Charter gets shut down before it can do much of anything. Boomer wandering its way in, trying to get some kind of proxy. Smoker does get shut down. Now the proxy does go out on the coach, but that is probably going to be all she wrote. France are going to make their way to the safe room. Again, with a pretty respectable bonus here for map 1. It could have been a lot higher considering that tank, but still a good job by them, even on the away server, to have 660 points after the first map right here on Hard Rain versus Paragon. So I think if I'm Paragon now, I'm definitely going to want to beat that by a lot due to the tank position there, as long as they can avoid getting that early corner, and they can either pop or avoid the Boomer from France on the commit. Hopefully.
Indeed, and I believe I'm back. I don't know why
Okay.
my mic got muted. Like, I'm using a different profile since we're doing a local recording, and for whatever reason, my mic got muted. I'm not completely sure of why. Sorry about that, guys. That means everything I was saying during the first half you guys probably didn't hear, but I think it cut out somewhere during it, so... we'll
Yeah,
see what
I thought I
happens.
heard you. I heard you for the majority of that, but was it muted on the... Okay. Alright, well then they might not be able to hear you. It'll sound like I'm talking to myself. I swear I don't have 2 personalities inside my head. But at the same point in time, we all are going to be able to get this back to working order as soon as Lucifer from Paragon decides to ready up. Pretty balanced first chapter there, Kissme, I would say. Like I said, France probably won a little bit more after that tank fight. Listen, Team Paragon, knowing them as well as I do, they're all great friends of mine, like, they are an extremely confusing group of individuals, and that I say with the utmost admiration and respect. So, at the same point in time, it's basically what they need to do at this point, I would say, is since they're on the home server, obviously France did make the map, but if they can make with a higher bonus and then kind of try to control at least some part of the momentum, because France is one of those teams, even though they have a ping disadvantage, first of all, the ping really isn't that much of a factor, I can say here, because there's only 3 people with orange ping, 179, 199, the other 117. Obviously, Paragon has all green, but then France is also running someone who's from the United States, and because of the server's close proximity, I would say, to Paragon, they need to maximize that before they go overseas. But like I said, the way in which the servers, their optimization, plus the technology, plus the 100 tick factor really has, at least in terms of a European or Western European team playing against a North American team, really minimized the damage that goes out from that ping disparity.
Everything I can.
With that being said, we are going to see Kissme's mic get muted again, so that means I'm going to talk to myself. It's going to be a Charger, Smoker, Boomer, and a Hunter for the first hit from France as Paragon makes her way out of the safe room. Smoker is going to get a pull under a shell right there with a Tri-Boom as well. Charger climbing up, and it's going to get a nice charge, nice double charge going out. The clear is going to be a little bit slow as well because Coach had to clear the Smoker and the Hunter by himself at first. The Boomer is still alive, so a little bit more damage coming out from that first hit from France, and the Boomer does get the proxy for the Quad Boom just as another feather in the cap from that hit. So over 50 damage going out from that first hit, and I mean that's not good so far for Paragon because even though they only sent in one hit on the last half before France got to the tank, it did an okay amount of damage, like chip damage, but they've already taken more damage than that just from the initial hit. And now because of the Survivor's positioning, it looks as though France is going to be able to get a full second hit. Imagine to land a nice Hunter right there, tri-cap, rolling tri-cap landing. That's going to be a charge hit with the Smoker pull back after the one Survivor got hit on top of the truck, and all the momentum right now is immediately in France's favor. The Witch Crown does go out, but they've already got one Survivor slow, gonna have to pop his pills before they even get anywhere close to this tank. Paragon are gonna have to try to, like, I don't know, on that hit they kind of rushed a little bit. They had a couple common that they needed to clear, but instead they probably tried to get out there before the spawns were ready, but France anticipated that because they did the same thing on the last half. They were able to dodge that Witch. Instead, Paragon pushed to the side. France knew exactly what they were doing, and they managed to get a nice rolling recap, as I said. It had been almost picture perfect had that Hunter not been cleared. Another hit looks to be ready for Team France, as a matter of fact. Going in, Smoker is going to go in, gets immediately broken, though. Nice separation pounce over there on Coach, and the double boom coming in to follow up. So that was another nice coordinated hit by France. Obviously, the tank hasn't done a whole lot to slow down their chemistry, and now the tank is going to be up into the hands of Everlasting himself, longtime North American player, partial time admin. I've actually admin a tournament with him. Really cool guy, known him for a while, and now he is going to push this car into position to try and maximize the damage that's gone out on Paragon so far. The other thing that I'm looking at that's a little bit weird, I would say, for this situation is the Survivors are running I think it's a 2-2 setup. I understand why they're doing that in order to get the damage on the tank, but right now I think they understand that even if they have those Uzis, the no slowdown in Ace mod is going to force them to play much differently in terms of positioning. You can't really just slow the tank down and stay in that corner back there. When the tank committed, France got out of that area because they know the tank has no slowdown and can get a quick corner on the side. I actually saw that recently in a scrim on map 4 in the same position, so obviously there was no slowdown, but then the tank was able to get an early corner and the wipe did come out, so we'll see exactly what France wants to do. They have a Smoker, Charger, and a Jockey for the tank support right here. And Everlasting is on second pass, bleeding them out. Probably going to force Coach to commit his pills. Tank is going in from the front right there, trying to land that initial punch on Adam. Got nothing going, and this is what I was talking about. Pushing them back in the corner there. Now he is going to get that corner onto Lucifer, who does manage to get his way out. Tank down to about 1600 HP right now. Getting another punch onto Adam, and here comes the hit. We're going to have a tri-cap landing, and that is going to be an absolutely insane wipe from Team France on a Team Paragon, landing the absolutely perfect SI support. That's exactly what I meant. The Survivors got somebody cornered in that corner because of the way the tank punched them after the first Survivor got out of the corner, and then the three had to flush forward, and they ran right into that tri-cap. Absolutely ridiculous timing, and that is going to be on the home server for Team Paragon. Team France taking the lead 660 to 205 after that first map. Huge amount of momentum swing in France's favor, and that was beautiful. So with that, we're really going to have to see what Paragon can do, because that, as I said, was the perfect hit that they had go in right there. I was originally doubting why they didn't want a Boomer in that area, but now I see why, because when the tank is able to zone one person off after switching targets, the Smoker got the pull, the Charger got the beautiful intercept, and the Jockey was also able to land. So fantastic work by France, and now they are going to be on the Survivor side first here in the second map. And the tank is going to be at 59%. So now, instead of thinking how many points they can score on this home server for them, Paragon is going to need to try to figure out how they can get their way back into this game.
Indeed, and I believe I should be back. I found one mute button that was in this OBS profile for some reason, and it was bound to page up. I don't know when I ever hit page up, actually. Oh, I see what it is. Okay. I know why it was detecting page up. We should be good from now on. I should not be muted anymore at any course through this game.
Alright, fantastic. So now that you're back, we shall be able to see what Team France does with the lead after a fantastic play on the last map. Hunter, Spitter, Charger. I almost said Charger. Charger, Jockey for this first hit from Team Paragon. Probably going to decide to do it when the Survivors get outside due to the fact they have actually, you know what? They could decide to go inside, but it's really hard to land anything in there at the current time because the Survivors can either back up or just shoot the windows. I want to see what France does here, Kissme, because they know that that the infected has a pretty good hit.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you get the first 4 spawns whenever the round starts, but the attack is going to come in here. Jockey, Hunter both working the way and looking for a double cap. Don't find it, though. Charger also whiffing onto Nick. Jockey will latch onto one of the survivors for a little bit of damage there, also bathing him in the spit, but that will be the end of that attack. Not as much as definitely could have came from that. They had a nasty 3 cap plus that spit to go down on one of the 2 cappers. Even the Jockey could have went for a little bit of a tumble inside of the spit with his cap survivor, but they just weren't able to line that Hunter and Charger, unfortunately. So we'll see Team France escape that one pretty much by the skin of their teeth as well, actually, because Nick barely got cleared out of that Hunter, and that Charger barely whiffed him as well. He actually got the stumble on him from hitting the wall. But another attack will also be coming up now. Smoker, Boomer, Hunter, Charger. Smoker just going on Alice. It's going to be a little bit hard for the killer. Nice intercept there by the Hunter. Charger as well taking Coach over to the other side of the factory, putting him against the wall. And that is going to be a little devastating here for the survivors. Going to actually also get a proxy on Alice here. That's going to slow them down even that much more. But actually, Alice hopping on top of the water tanks, or I don't know what you call them, probably sugar tanks, I would assume. Could be water, though.
He was going up there first, and that almost worked, but the infected were able to grab him before he got the spawn block. I think they probably saw that coming. And this is actually something that I've seen more recently of a survivor either taking that upwards path and then also hopping around on top of the scaffolding here just to get those spawn blocks. I think the infected are probably going to try to hit when they get maybe halfway down here before that tank spawns. It's going to be a Jockey, Charger, Spitter, and a Hunter. But again, from what I've seen of Paragon's hits so far, they are landing caps there. It's not doing it in succession, and France has been getting some really good clears. Hit coming in, there's caps landing in succession. Again, the clear went out pretty well, but a nice double charge going and actually knocking Rochelle all the way to the top with a spit down on it, and that's exactly what was missing from their first couple hits. Right there, you saw everything land in succession, Kissme, and they got the damage they deserved.
We most certainly did. I'm trying to figure out where this witch is. She's actually down here at the drop. We're going to see one survivor is actually pushing towards her. I do believe it will be Nick, and indeed it will be running right past her, getting the crown, easily done by him, getting 172% of the normal needed damage to kill off the witch, which is 1,000. So, yeah, nice crown by him, and we'll see another attack loaded gear up here in a second. Boomer, Hunter, a Jockey, and Smoker. So a little bit of a weaker 3-3, but they get that separation going for them. They can definitely make it work. Boomer completely whiffs, though. Hunter does manage to latch onto Rochelle. Smoker pulling Coach forward. And that will be all short for that hit. It is worth mentioning as well, though, Grin actually is down the yellow. I don't know if you mentioned that after the charge spit of the last hit.
Well, he's definitely bleeding now, and that is going to cause the tank to come up 14 Paragon in the hands of Verbansky himself. And Kissme, what kind of hit is a 3-3?
3-3. Did I say that? I meant 3-1.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like a 3-3, and I was like, huh. It's XSI.
Secret.
I like it.
Secret update, guys. All teams get to use 2 more players now, and they get to have 6 SI in 1 hit.
I would love to see that actually happen. But, you know, as you mentioned with the bleeder, Verb can now actually play a rock tank here, at least for a little bit. Obviously, they found another set of pills for Grin, but he is still bleeding. That Hunter is way up in the sky, going for the DP with a Charger and a Boomer for the support here besides that Hunter. And I think the Hunter is hoping that the survivors pay attention to him. They don't chip this tank, because the tank looks like he wants to rotate. But right now, he does have sight, so Paragon is taking their sweet time with the support. This is, I don't know, this is like a stalemate right now, because the tank still has sight, the survivors aren't LOSing him, and everyone's staring at the Hunter. Kissme, they're just trying to hold each other out. There, the Boomer finally spawns and does get popped. Nice pop going out there by Toad. And now that Hunter is going to go for the DP. Not going to land, but this tank is still in a pretty tough position.
Yeah, he's actually still stuck on the opposite side of the wall of where he wants to be. Charger does go ahead and throw himself in there, try and make something happen for his tank, but that's unfortunate that he can't find anything. And Verbansky's going to be forced to play a little bit more passive here, as he has no SI to really help him out, and the survivors are going into hard LOS mode. So the tank will quickly drop down to 90% rage, dropping still at an extremely alarming rate, down to 70, down to 65. There's no way for him to really reclaim this unless he rotates and gets a rock, or he just commits here. I'm expecting to commit.
Yeah, he has to commit. There's nothing else he can do. And there is going to be a pretty nice setup here for an open area for the SI support, but the tank is already down to 3,000 HP. That's in there. Support going in now. Hunter managing to land. There's another cap landing on the side with that Smoker. Nice double punch going out too, and that is the intercept. The Jockey and the Hunter went for the same person though, and Nick is going to get the clear, but that was almost catastrophic for France right there. Almost saw another tri-cap. Rock going back towards Rochelle, and the tank is going to die, but Kissme, that was almost disastrous for France.
Yeah, that was really close to the wipe. If that, I believe it was the Hunter that got cleared initially, if he did not get cleared and that Jockey was able to intercept onto the last remaining survivor that actually ran towards the survivors, that would have been pretty much it, because the tank could have just kept chasing down Rochelle. and wiping things up there. But regardless, they do manage to beat that tank down to the ground, and they will advance, albeit in pretty bad health situation as well. Pretty much the same as we saw them in map 1 after tank. But, you know, they made that safe room, and I predict they'll probably make this one as well. I mean, they only have one set of pills left on themselves, but they haven't really found any up to this point. Hunter going in, though, landing a double boom as well. Spit goes down top of the Pound Survivor. Jockey leaving her in the spit for that much longer. Going to drop Everlasting's remaining solid but health bonus, and he's going to pop that only remaining set of pills. I'm expecting to find one up ahead here.
Probably should, but as you mentioned, they are now depleted of those pills. Everyone bleeding, and again, that tank got a pretty darn good amount of damage in an open area. Again, where you usually don't see a whole lot of damage go out, but because he was able to hit that one multi-plunge, plus also his support were able to get a couple stumbles and a couple side caps, that was a lot of damage. And now Paragon, again, if they can stop France from making the safe room with this bonus, they'll be in pretty good position. Hit is going to be coming in. Spitter, Hunter, Smoker, and a Charter. Let's see if they can actually land this. Smoker is down below, trying to find some kind of separation pull. Hunter getting chipped along with that Spitter. Charter going to come in from the top as well. Charter going for it, and they do get the 2-cap off the stumble. That's a beautiful hit coming in from Paragon, and there's the tri-cap Kissme. That is going to be an absolute ridiculous amount of damage. I am loving the play from both SI sides so far. What a devastating sequence.
Yeah, that was absolutely beautiful, and Kim is actually, or was almost about to die. For Shell actually didn't manage to get that clear. He might have been dead by the time the survivors got back up here to the 3rd floor to help him up. But yeah, that was a devastating hit. Beautifully played there by team, I keep saying Cuck, and I want to say
Paragon.
but it's Team Paragon. I hate them so much. They always use that tag.
Yo, they've been doing that even when I was on the team for like what, 3 tournaments at this point, and I don't know, I guess it's a theme, but like you said, that was fantastic.
Oh yeah, lots of damage. Pretty much almost a wipe, in fact. If that Smoker instead decided to pull one Survivor off, the other 2 up top were already in-capped at that point in time. So if they actually pulled one Survivor off, the Smoker could have ended up ending the entire round.
Yeah.
But regardless, we'll see them hold out the event here, though. With that big of a hit that they just took, though, I don't see them actually being able to make this map anymore. I think that they have really low HP. They're going to bleed out quite a bit here. And Spitter is going to be pretty much their biggest problem at this point in time after this event is over.
They're in a pretty good spot right now, but they are going to be bleeding the entire time as that elevator almost reaches the top. It looks as though Paragon is going to decide to send one more hit here before the survivors do get in, see if they can get another down, see if they can get a little bit more of that last remaining health bonus off of Coach. And we are going to see a Smoker pull go out, but it does get cleared. Charter going in is going to get shut down. Nice double boom landing with also some nice spit damage going out, and that is going to be an in-cap onto Everlasting. That's going to put him black and white. So again, even more damage going out. They have to pick him up, and then they have to get in and take the entire ride down to the field Kissme as they bleed.
I believe that this will also give them another hit at the very bottom of the elevator because of that in-cap on Everlasting. So good play by them, prioritizing an in-cap over anything else. They even sacrificed pretty much a charge to make that happen as they pulled Rochelle through the spit. But yeah, they're gonna have another hit here. I wouldn't be surprised either to see the SI actually go for scratches through the sides of the elevator. But Boomer's gonna actually drop down in front of the survivors, lands 2, 3, 4 booms, and that's gonna be a full quad boom. Charger looking for punches here. I hope he knows that you can actually punch through the side of the elevator. So the back is blocked by a sheet of paper, or not paper, but wood, I should say. Yes, paper can block Charger punches. Everyone knows that.
Paper covers rock. The Charger has a big fist. We all know this, Kissme. We played rock, paper, scissors. And it's going to be a jockey Spitter and then a formation from Charger. Actually deciding not to go in and just letting France bleed out there. I think that's actually the right call, because now they have a 3-cap. Spit's going to go down. Nothing going to land there. Hunter going in, getting a nice scratch onto the survivors. And all sorts of stuff was going on.
That's it.
And that's going to be the weirdest wipe I think I've ever seen. What did we just witness?
That was beautiful. Well, pretty much, I mean, a breakdown of what they just did. They actually spit in front of the elevator, set the Hunter in, let him scratch down Rochelle. I believe that was what ended up killing her. And then Jockey ran in and... Oh, no, that's out of order. After that, after the Hunter got the kill on Rochelle, Charger charged the back of the elevator, stumbling these 3 remaining survivors forward towards the spit, which they still weren't in range of, so it didn't actually hit them. But it did 2 damage to all of them, pretty much just from the stumble damage. And then Jockey ran in, did 1 scratch, in-cap 2, and then rode on that Coach, in-capping him.
Yeah, and I think the succession of stumbles there, right? The Hunter didn't have to do anything, but when the Charger got that bump in the back, the survivors really, like, they had no control over not being able to either M2 the Jockey as it darted in there, or they were still recovering from the fact that one of their teammates just got downed and another one got killed from a Hunter that is not M2able in Ace Mod. And honestly, that has been a strategy that I've seen all across the board. The fact that you cannot M2 a Hunter that runs at you and gets claw damage has become a surprisingly, like, popular meta nowadays, and I never would have thought that, but hey, that's where we're at, and I think it actually changes the dynamic quite a bit for just chip damage.
I think it's definitely interesting because it makes you actually have to shoot the hunter instead of melee it away. And it's also something way back when Left 4 Dead 1. Anyway, attack commando, nice triple cap, Lang spit goes on top of it. That's going to put all 3 cap survivors inside the spit. The jockey rides the last one into it. And that's going to drop, or not Verbansky, but Lucifer down into the yellow after the first hit. Adam as well down at the 50 mark range for HP. And that is absolutely destructive. Over 100 damage on the first hit.
I jinxed it. You know, the best way still to hit with a hunter, though, is to pounce someone. And that's exactly what we saw. Getting the crouch and pounce. At that range, you need to hit that skeet or something like that's going to happen. The stumble went out, and then the capitalization was perfect. That's like the third 3-cap we've seen in about like 1 3/4 chapters so far. I absolutely love it. We do have another hit from France coming in. We do have that smoker getting picked. There we go. Nicely going out on the hunter, and the jockey's not going to be able to land either. That's a little bit better of a recovery right there, but Paragon just ate it on that last hit.
Definitely, and good heads-up play, though, by the split at the very end of the SI hit. He threw the spit down in front of the survivors at the choke point, pretty much between those 2 sugar mills, and it pretty much forced them to just hold up and allowed the SI to start their spawn timers. So it kind of gives them a little bit more of a next hit, or a sooner next hit, I should say.
Indeed it does, and that hit is going to be up right now. Boomer, Smoker, Charger, and a Hunter. Boomer's going up in the front, and Coach apparently didn't see that. Boomer got a single boom onto him as he was looking to the window. The Smoker is spawned up from the back right here. Hunter going in as well. Nice pounce landing right there for 13 damage as that Charger did go straight by the survivors. So still, more chip damage going out. They already have 1 person in bleed, and then Adam's also going to commit a set of pills. That also makes Verbansky and Rain, I think, 4 punches for this tank, depending on when the tank spawns, when they get everything up. Survivors are going to push the Witch right now while the spawns are down, and easy crown going up by Lucifer.
Indeed. Yet again, ooh, 188 damage to the Witch, or percent, I should say. But yeah, so that's going to be an easy Witch up. Obviously, no points are given for the Witch in Ace mod, unlike Pro mod, where you get those 20 points for a successful crown. And yeah, we'll see tank spawning up now. It's going to be in the hands of Tough for Team France. There will be a hit up on the way back. Spitter throwing out the pre-split, trying to block survivors from going back, but the coach, or not the coach, but coach gets back anyway. Diving past the spit in the opening, will make his way out. Smoker looking for a pull on the survivors. Will find one on Alice. The tongue does get broken in time though. So he's going to be able to retreat with the rest of his team, and tank moving his way up towards the survivors, but he's going to stay a little bit farther back here so he doesn't take any chip as of just yet.
And I think, honestly, instead of them trying to transition out and play rock, we might see another commit here, this time by Francis Tank. He actually doesn't even have sight right now, but Toph should be able to get... Yeah, you know what? He's not even going to try for it. I expected both teams to play the rock, but I think they probably figure with no slowdown in an area like this, depending on the SI hit, they can do a lot of damage. Paragon did it, and now that Charger Hunter Smoker for Team France is going to try to replicate that. I really like the changing up of that meta from the Pro mod here, actually, Kissme, because this completely changes things, and the survivors have to be on point.
Yeah, they have to be much more in tune with their teammates, show a lot of chemistry here. But we'll see what ends up happening. They're going to go and commit with that Charger Hunter Smoker. They have to shut down these SI upon them committing. Toph already down to 4,400 HP, dropping like a fly, down to 2,200. Gets a double punch on the coach and Nick here. Going to go ahead and turn his attention over to coach entirely, looking for the stim cap. I believe 2 punches are what he needs. Yes, 1 more will do it. But Toph is at 26 HP. SI are pretty much dead and killed off. Smoker does land onto Nick there, and Charger goes ham with the punches and gets the in-cap, in fact. But the plus side for Team Paragon is that they will be walking away from this tank, and at least they can make it to where Team France did. I don't think anything's going to stop them unless we witness some sort of really, really sick staircase hit, which I would be all for. But if they don't hit or eat that attack, and who knows, they might not have the spawns for it. But regardless, we'll see what happens. But they can definitely make it to where Team France did, I would assume, to the elevator in the event. But attack coming in here, though. 1-2 getting boom. Jockey latching onto Ellis, bringing him over. The other green survivor gets pulled off to the side, so it's going to delay the clear a little bit longer. And I believe Ellis got cleared? Yeah, he's cleared. I didn't see him on my screen anywhere, so I was like, is he still getting jocked, or is he okay?
I think he's alright now, but again, on that tank, I mean, the tank was able to get a down, but again, he was down to like, what, 200 HP by the time he actually got that corner after hitting that multi-punch. And the survivors are going to be able to make their way forward now. They are all bleeding, though, because the person who got downed was non-bonus, but then the support was able to pull and get punches on someone who had high green HP. And they're in similar situations right now, but as long as Paragon can mitigate this damage, they can try to get back into the lead on their home server here. I should also mention, because this is a game 1 of 2. Boomer going in on this hit, getting popped. Charger and Spitter from the other side. Charger missing, Hunter gets skeeted, and everything does get shut down. So a nice take right there by Paragon. But Kissme, they're going to be bleeding this entire event.
Indeed, they're going to, and they actually didn't find that set of pills downstairs in the bathroom either. So a little bit of a mishap on their part. I don't know if it just wasn't them paying attention during the last half when Team France found them, or if they just decided to just rush that staircase and really get up it before taking a hit. Maybe they thought the pills was, it wouldn't heal as much as they would take if they waited any longer. So we'll see what happens. Another attack coming in here, though. Hunter Jockey working away with a Charger in the back. Boomer looks like he is going to come in. Nice triple cap happening. Almost a quad with Toph almost hitting Nick there as well. And that's going to be a ledge hang, or not even a ledge hang. They actually in-cap Coach on the ledge there. Not electing to ledge hang him entirely, so he's just going to be laying on the edge instead.
Man.
But yeah, I feel like if they were aware of it, they'd probably go back for the pills at this point. But Jockey going to actually harass the survivors here on the edge. Jockey in the hands of Kissme here, going to go ahead and try to keep Coach down, but he's not going to be able to do it. Coach gets back up and shoots that Jockey right in the face. And so that's going to be a dead Jockey. And it looks like Paragon might take the round lead here at least. Maybe not the full lead, but it will be the round lead.
Cannot believe how good France's SI is. Like, that's at least the second tri-cap that we've seen them land. Like, their coordination is just ridiculously on point. Again, just going in at the proper times. Now they're going to try to replicate what Paragon did on this hit. Coach already finding his way out. There's a skeet going out. Pull does go out as well. No spit down's really going to rescue in there, but the Charger does get a punch on both those survivors. And as you said, I think they take the round lead here, but I don't think they take the overall lead if they still make it out of this field. But Kissme, Team France's SI has been top-notch right here.
Yeah, they've been showing a lot of cohesion. I know they've been practicing off the walls for the past 2 weeks. Unfortunately, or at least I wasn't able to catch their last week game, but I saw that it was actually relatively close against their opponent, which I forget who it was, but it was something under like 800 points, I think it was. So hats off to both those teams. An amazing game. And now we're going to see if Team France can even keep close here. I mean, once again, we haven't seen Team France really put forth a good foot. Even in, actually, no, Equilibrium number 4, they reached top 8, I believe. But they did end up getting knocked out. So
I mean, they almost beat NV in EQ number 3 from what I remember, and there still are members of the same team on here. That hit's going in. Smoker gets cleared, then the Jockey does manage to land after getting a scratch down on one of the survivors. But from what I remember, Team France is one of the best European teams who's been around off and on since the Frag Pipe tournament. And, like, I've just been impressed by pretty much every... And even in RBC1, I think they were like the 3rd seed in that tournament. Nice level going out there by Adam. But again, this version of France is a little bit different. They do have Grin here, obviously, and they have Razzer, I think, as their captain. But Razzer's not playing tonight. But like I said, I'm always impressed to see France. But this is the strongest I've seen their SI side in a while.
Oh yeah, this is like, for me, watching the Equilibrium 1 champions, Mengu and them, Impossible, they were... This SI that I'm witnessing right now, like, harks back to those days. Like,
Insane.
I haven't seen SI like this in tournament in years, and I'm thrilled to see it, because you also saw Team Impossible, how they played Survivor. It was completely different plane of thought. It was completely different tactics than what we're used to seeing in these games. So hopefully we continue seeing more of this. This is like really reminiscent to me, and it's bringing back a lot of nostalgia from back in those days. So we'll see how long they can keep this run going, and hopefully both teams do very well, because I'd love to see this old school type of play continue. Really, really strong SI, a lot of cohesion, and I mean Survivor as well. I mean Impossible more so because they were running the 3-4 SMGs for some rounds. So we'll see what this game holds in store. Once again, though, Team France will maintain the lead going into this 3rd map, and once again we will be seeing a second game, I believe, as this is a home away game since we have France going up against a North American team. But regardless, we're going live here with the first half of the 3rd map. Once again, France on the serves, or survivors. I said serves by accident because I abbreviated it. And then Team Paragon on the SI.
Indeed, and I should actually correct myself there. I think it was actually EQ number 2 where France almost beat NV in the semifinals of that tournament. It was an extremely close game from what I remember. I know they've had pretty good success on the European scene as well. Paragon going in right here, getting a single boom. Hunter managing to land as well with a spit going down on top of that. And right now, from what I've seen though, as much as we talked about how good France's SI has been, their Survivor, obviously it is an away server. It's not that it's been underwhelming so far, but they have taken a pretty good amount of damage in both chapters. Like, it's not one of those situations where they're completely shutting Paragon down. Like, Paragon's doing a pretty good job in this game, obviously, on their own stateside server, but maybe we'll see a change in France's Survivor when it switches back to the other server. But right now, I think their cohesion's what's keeping them completely together and winning in this match. We're going to have that smoke spit going down, doing a little bit of damage to Coach. Boomer getting a nice arc boom as well. Jockey going in, managing to land onto Ellis there. That's actually a lot of scratches and a pretty good damage spread from those first couple hits.
Definitely, and we'll see Team France walk away inside of earlier, take an easy ride to the top, and they're probably aware, obviously, that there's not going to be an SI hit up since they just threw the hidden down there. And it looks like, yeah, they're going to have pretty much one spawn up and two on the brink of it. And whether or not they push out past this horde is really up to them. And actually, it looks like they might all be up in time. I misspoke. It looks like they are actually going to be up. I guess the spit delay was actually what did it.
It was, and obviously another split delay going down right there, no damage in the elevator. But Charger Hunter Smoker actually decided to go in for damage right there, and that Charger got, oh my goodness,
wow.
Look at the damage just came in from that. Oh my.
Did you see their health bars just drop in synchronization?
Yes, the Charger cleaved and the Hunter cleaved. That's ridiculous. No death charge needed. Great play again, taking advantage of what I talked about before from the non-ability to M2 Hunters or M2 Chargers.
That was absolutely nuts, just watching their health. Like, obviously, it's not,
down.
yeah, it doesn't update like real time, but you just watch it just, like, as updated, it was like chunk. And I was like, what just happened? But Everlasting going for the crown here, does manage to land it. Boomer getting popped up, prong rocketing in. Jockey does latch onto Everlasting there for a few ticks of damage, and then Spit also just throwing it down there just so that she could say I was a part of the attack. But Tank will be coming up at 72% of the way through the map here, which should be somewhere right outside on the pipes, I do believe. And we'll see where Team France elects to take it. There's a lot of different places it can take it. They could even take a couple of hits and make their way back up or to the second story of the sugar mill. But they're actually going to push out towards the two shacks pretty much right before the drop point.
Yeah, I really like this call because with the non-water slowdown, people tried to do this in pro mod and it did work sometimes. Because of the water slowdown, the survivors were at a little bit of a disadvantage. But because there is absolutely no water slowdown right here, this pretty much makes this tank fight the same as when we saw on the last map. And the tank is up in the hands of Rain, 14 Paragon, Boomer Charger, and a Jockey here. Obviously, the SI have just a little bit more of an advantage due to the fact visibility is decreased. But again, since the survivors in the tank are going to be pretty much on equal ground, even in the water, this is really something that could go either way, depending on what Team Paragon decides to commit with. And it looks as though Kissme, they're going to maybe commit with this again.
Possibly, and now Team France is also in a bit of a tricky situation. If you are them, do you pre-pop on 3 of your survivors? Because Grin, he's around 70, or no, he's actually in the 60s. You have Toph, who's down around 50. Kinemo as well in the 60. So do you pre-pop and risk, or do you take that risk of only 3 punches being an cap? But they do actually get the hit on the Kinemo. He's actually able to pop a set of pills there at the very last second. That's gonna be an easy corner on him, and he's also really separated from the other survivors, so they can't really get good chip. Almost a tri-cap there in the back. Tank does whip that punch on the Rochelle, though. Coach was punched way too far away from the catch-up. Charger doesn't end up getting cleared. Alice taking punches in the face here. Tank does get killed off, but there are no pills left to Team France's name.
That was absolutely ridiculous, and Coach does go down to a common right there. That single boom landing, as you were explaining the pill situation, I was wondering if the tank was going to commit. He did. He had some great target selection there, punching Kenium, turning back around, punching away, I think that was Ellis on the one side, and then that double charge landing with the Jockey as the Horde was still in there. The tank had a great amount of selection because, as you mentioned, even though the survivors took their pills, the tank was able to zone them effectively in that area and just do an absolutely obscene amount of damage for a place like that. I am really, really impressed now. This is going to be a game that goes right down to the wire. Pull going out on a Coach right there to the back. Boomer stumbles the Charger away. Jockey trying to get the intercept. Charger now trying to go for a long charge. Not going to land, but France is going to be limping to the safe room if they make it at all.
Indeed. I was thinking that because normally you have some survivors that are up in the like 80-90 range whenever tank comes up, and that kind of allows for you to obviously take more punches, allow your teammates to get more chip, more melee swings and whatnot on the tank, and to have 3 survivors pretty much sitting at 3 punch range, that's kind of iffy, especially with one around 50, because if one SI gets a scratch on him, then he's down in 2 punch range, and you don't really want to be down in that range when you take a tank. But Coach will go ahead and take another end cap here. That will send him black and white. No other stars have taken an end cap, as we just said. Boomer does miss, but there is a double cap with a spit still here. And I don't know if the survivors are aware that this might be happening right now, even with that sack that just went in by the Boomer. But Hunter does land onto Nick. Spit goes on top of it. Nick was not the health bonus, but he's also damage bonus. So that's still going to have an effect. Grin will actually take an end cap here in the top floor of the, building they call this. I don't know. Is there a sign on this thing? The Ducatel Sugar Co. Office building. Let's go with that.
That actually was bonus there on Grin. I think they had a sliver of health bonus. And this Charger's actually in the safe room, pulling out a nice strat, going and getting a stumble, getting a punch, an in-cap actually on the top. Again, another really unconventional strat from Paragon, but it worked right there, getting a tri-boom. Now the Hunter's going to go in, managing to scratch there, but Keenan does get the crowbar to the face. And now we are going to see another in-cap going out onto Grin outside. And again, France are almost just pretty much rolling around on the floor at this point, trying to get to the safe room because of the in-cap that they've taken. Two people black and white.
In fact, now there's a spitter, and that's probably going to be resulting in an in-cap on a coach unless they can wallbang the spitter. And actually, they shoot it before it can get the spit off, but the Charger does come up along with the smoker. Charger goes into the safe and charge back into the safe room, in-capping Everlasting. Kinum's still down on 1 HP, and Toph and Grin, they're going to actually close the door and just lick their wounds inside. They're like, no, the pickup's not worth it. Just close the door, guys.
And they have no bonus. It got depleted. That's how much damage they took.
One of them probably checked the health bonus, and they were like, well, it's 0 anyway. Let's just go ahead and close it.
I need some help.
So they do manage to make the safe room, albeit with no health bonus. They will still get that full distance. So that's pretty much all you can really ask for out of that, because they had a pretty rough tank take, to say the least. So, oh, Wake wants to come in?
Yeah, I was saying that to the players. I think they voted, but if you have admin, you can open that up real quick so that we can...
Yeah, I don't have admin, unfortunately.
Okay. There you go. I think they probably just changed it.
And yeah, so we'll be going into the second half of the third map yet again, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. You're watching Team France take on Team Paragon. Obviously, a French versus North American team, and it is on hard rain, the original. No downpour, as I just said. Hunter actually going for the scratch here, does find under a shell, and Hunter's going to stand in the doorway. I think I lagged a little bit, or did the server lag?
I think it was not you. It was the server. Yeah, it was a little bit of
Oh, okay, yeah. Even
tactical
there.
DDoS.
Alright, guys. You're going to throw it in. I'm going to run and scratch them. They're going to die when it's done.
Keenan's fault. Okay. Hey, you know what? Even though this is the home server, France has put up one heck of a game onto Paragon. And Paragon, in order to win the game on their home server now, they are going to have to, like, I don't know. They have to take that tank much better. They might find a better spot, or that spot that might work better for them, depending on how they take it. But the hit in the field is coming in right here. It is a 3-1 with that Boomer. Boomer not able to get anything. You can see the Smoker landing. Hunter lands too. Nice double cap right there. But because that boom didn't land, they do get some very fast clears. There's the proxy boom going out. Just a little bit of chip damage going out, and that's all they have from the field.
Indeed. And it sounds like the Smoker's going to go for a despawn here. Smart move, saving for the top of the elevator. And yeah, they're going to go ahead and close that door and start the ascending, or the ascendance, I guess, towards the top.
Yes.
And yeah, they haven't taken all that much damage. Obviously, Adam took a little bit along with, oh god, Rain. Oh yeah, his name's just Rain. Never mind. I was thinking of Forever Alone Lucifer. And then I was like, oh wait, no, Rain's just Rain. But regardless, they do have a charger. Spitter goes down in front of that hit. Oh, that charge!
I saw that happening, Kissme. I saw that in slow motion. The stumble went out. Adam was standing on the lip after the skeet. I think he was standing a tad bit too far forward. That is so unfortunate for Paragon. I think France is going to take the win. But just based off that, based off the momentum, something like that huge happening to a team that's playing from behind on their home server, I'm going to call it. I think France is going to take the game on their away server here. I think they're going to win on the US side. Boomer going in, blocking the witch as well. This is just feeding into my point. And there is a double cap landing on the Team Paragon for what might be the wipe. The survivor was able to clear the Hunter right there. Jockey is getting stuck inside, but the Boomer is going to be able to stumble him back as Verbansky is still pulled to the side. One huge mistake after another. Kissme. Wow.
That is incredibly unfortunate. Really well played, though, there by the SI. They got that initial spit down in front of the elevator, and then they kind of threw the smoke in front of it, had him grab the pole, and then obviously the Charger just took him off the ledge. And yeah, that hit, that right there though, that last hit with the Witch, that was really unfortunate, but that was really well played once again by the Boomer. He threw himself in front of the survivors, made him throw out an M2, and the Witch was right in his face the moment he M2'd. And it was kind of like the Boomer got pushed back, and Witch just ran right through the Boomer and slapped Ellis, getting the in-cap. But anyway, attack goes in. Spit actually does bounce off the outside of the shack. I believe it hit the glass and just fell down, so the survivors won't have to indulge the Spit or take any damage from it.
No one saw that. Everlasting accidentally, you know, he's a little premature there with that Spit. Nice pull going out in the back right there. And the jockey gets the intercept for another 2-cap. Looks like the Lucifer had to reload right there. They're going to have to push for that kind of distance. Another great amount of separation going out and just no clear ability. The Charger is now up as well. They do have the in-cap on the bottom. Charger working his way around, guarding the in-cap, going in, managing to land as the tank spawns too for the next in-cap. And it looks as though Lucifer is just going to book it here. Keenum's going to have his tank run here. Kissme and Francis put themselves into the lead squarely now by probably about 500 points by the time this chapter is over.
Indeed, I can't see them obviously making the safe room with all the SI up, and then obviously the tank that's currently just ripping into Ellis, and one more punch is going to seal the deal. And there we go. There's the wipe going out to Team Paragon. And for some reason, I feel like when we switch servers and go to the away server for Team Paragon, it's going to be polar opposites of what we're seeing right now. Like I feel like it's going to be one of those tournaments where teams just play better on their away server for whatever reason.
It might be, you know, honestly, because the thing is, when we saw Paragon play Agents last week, we had a similar situation occurring. I mean, Paragon were able eventually to pull out a, like 800-point win almost on their home server. But then when they went to the EU side of things, like Agents only won that game by like 200 points. So Paragon did pretty well playing on a Western European server. At the same point in time, in order to mitigate total disaster right here, they're going to need to do work onto France and just like, okay, France has the lead right here, but they still need to try to get every single point that they can. Because as you mentioned, even though they're playing on the opposing field, you know, France has done a great job in this game, and then Paragon's going to need to replicate that to take the series.
Indeed. It was a really weird last weekend. That was just... You don't see teams normally play that well on their away servers, but it seemed like everybody was just feeling the lag. They were feeding off it or something of this nature. But regardless, we're going live here with the fourth map, obviously, or fourth round, I should say, first half of it. And once again, Team France obviously up by around 500 points. Actually, it's 998 exact. I don't know, 998. I'm going to say now it's 1,000 or whatever. Going in, Jockey gets shut down. Jockey setting everything up though for that smoke, and then even the Charger latching on Ellis, bringing him towards one of the cars and getting the Spit down on top of it. So Everlasting will drop around 30 HP from that first hit, and they're going to keep pushing away through the map here, which at 45%, I believe that puts her on top of the ladder by the ambulance. And then, yeah, then 82 is like a, I want to say like the dumpster by the house up ahead.
Yeah, it should be around there. And honestly, you know, one thing I do love about Ace Mod is that it completely almost neutralized the pull chart Spit. Like, we saw that happen on that hit right there, and it got almost no damage onto Everlasting. Obviously, it did an okay amount to him. He's down to around 70 right now, but it used to be like, what, maybe 40 damage, maybe 45 off a hit like that in succession. And I love seeing the SI having to go for those multi-caps with the way in which the M2s have been removed. It's just a greater amount of balance, in my opinion, than from what we saw before. And Jockey, Charger, Spitter, and another spawn, not going to be a 2-2 anymore. France deciding just to step back and clear those common.
Yeah, the whole charge Spit definitely got nerfed quite a bit in this config. Looks like the attack is about to go in, though, from the judgment of that smoker position. Indeed, it does. Smoker pull does land on the Kosho, but Charger barely whipping 3 survivors at the top of the little garage overhang there. But yeah, as you were talking about, the Charger Spit definitely got nerfed, and it's because pretty much if the only thing that lands is a charge Spit, there's no reason for, you know, a survivor to go down to, you know, 30 HP from that one SI landing plus a Spit going down. If you land a good hit, though, obviously the Spit will be supplemented along with the other SI that cappers damage, so it will add up eventually. But you know, just for that free hit, one SI landing, you know, even 30 damage seems like a bit much sometimes. But we'll see, you know, if there's any changes that come in the future. But Hunter getting skied on this hit. Charger does land, but instantaneously cleared up by Nick and his axe, and that will be an attack up and over at the tank up in the hands of Adam for Team Paragon. And this is a big tank in my opinion. If they can make a wipe happen here and then make this map, they could easily make this a tie game going into the finale, and then you know, make things better for their away game.
Honestly, they still have a chance of winning, but that winning, I think, really depends just on this tank right here. Adam's going to need to do a good amount of work, and again, For those who are seeing Hard Rain on Ace Mod for the first time, if you might have seen it in EQ as well, it was pretty similar, but obviously Survivors, since there is no water slowdown, are able to take this at the same place we saw the series of tanks on the first map. Paragon's actually decided to commit the tank right now. Adam going in from the side, Hunter Boomer Jockey this time for the SI support. Adam pushing them back into the corner, getting his initial punch on to Rochelle right there, getting meleeed in the back now, having to turn around. The Boom obviously did land on the one survivor. Hunter's going to get the cover though. The Boom survivor was able to work his way back around and get the clear. Tank is now going to get the corner onto Coach, knocking him around. He actually goes on top of the fence. The tank isn't going to be able to complete the corner. Now he does get the rock onto Coach, trying to catch Ellis right there. That's a good amount of damage, Kissme, but definitely not a wipe.
Yeah, that's obviously clearly not what they needed. Grin still sitting very highly up there at 94, solid green health bonus right now. And then we also have obviously him with a set of pills. Nobody else has pills though. They are all three bleeding in some respect. Actually, damage bonus won't even be affected as of just yet because they all have a little bit of solid HP left on them. But we'll see Team France quickly make their way out of the building and out towards the playground. But with the Witch dealt with, the tank dealt with, they're not going to really have any problems here unless we see some sort of crazy last-minute hit here, as it is a Boomer, Spitter, Smoker, Charger. So they do have a 2-2, pretty much the best 2-2 that you could actually hope for, though. But Boomer in the hands of Adam is going to go ahead and whiff, and he's sitting by the alarm car. Coach very wisely, though, backing up, popping the Boomer. And as a lot of people know, if you back up far away, yeah, hold that. Charger does take one survivor far away, but the Spit does not have anything to land on, as the Charger did get cleared before actually connecting and pinning a survivor on the ground. But as I was talking about, if you actually back up far away enough from the Boomer and the alarm car and then pop the Boomer as a survivor, it actually won't trigger the alarm car. We see it applied many times in Dark Carnival Map 1 with the double alarm cars. You know, you see survivors working angles trying to get the picks on the Boom in order to mitigate it and exploding and triggering the alarm car. And yeah, so just very heads up play there by the survivors to mitigate that.
Grid must have heard me say something about France's survivor play, because he just scored, like, what, 47% of the SI damage there, 41% of kills, and he also made absolutely crucial clears during that tank. Paragon landed the 2-cap, but as he was still recovering from the Boom, Grim was able to circle back around and get both the clears on the Hunter and the Jockey as the other survivor was kiting the tank. Great job. I've seen him play. I've played against him a couple times as well. And like I said, Grin is one of those players that just always impresses me every time I see him, and he proved it right there. France able to take that to the safe room with a good amount of bonus, and this is going to put Paragon in a really tough position. I mean...
Oh, wait. All survivors are currently standing on top of the table. Not too sure why.
Whoa.
They're backing away now. They were like all up on my face. I was typing to somebody. I was like, whoa, what's going on? But yeah, so we're just waiting on one last person here to ready up for Team Paragon, and that would be Lucifer. And yeah, then we'll be ready to go. In fact, we are ready to go now, as he has it readied up. So we'll be going live here with the final half of the fourth map. And obviously France over on the SI, Team Paragon on the survivors. And we really have to see Team Paragon make this map. It's going to be very rough with that tank. There are a few select choices of places that they could take it. And actually, we're going to see Team Paragon push out here to the right side to start things off. A little unorthodox.
Hit's going to be going in, though. Jockey coming in. There's the Charger coming in from the back end.
Oh my god!
Charge onto the survivors as the smoker pole also went out. I saw that happen again in slow motion. These hits from France, I will say it again until this cast is over, and probably after it, their SI is the reason why they are winning this game now. I would say in pretty deciding fashion on the Paragon. That charge was exquisite.
What a freaking charge! He literally threw him up on the roof.
Yeah. That
was nuts. That's new for me. I've never seen a survivor literally get shot up onto the roof, let alone two. Wow, what a hit there by Team France, and a beautiful charge and spit to go down top of it as well. I feel like the spitter almost should have just spit on the roof instead. But Charger busts his way through the back door. He's going to go ahead and charge the survivors, looking for one by the car, but not going to find it. Boomer latching on to Nick. They're going to draw some horde in towards him. Jockey sitting his butt up on the alarm car. Going to try and look for one of the survivors maybe closer to him and get them in line with the alarm car. Try and make the survivors shoot it to clear him, obviously.
No dice, though. Jockey is going to be able to work his way back, and we do have a witch up on top of that ladder, as we saw before, but Paragon is deciding just to completely ignore it, because as you mentioned before, there really is no incentive to kill the witch at this point, and the tank is going to be up into the hands of the man himself, Bryn, who I just talked about, having the excellent survivor round last time, throwing a long-range rock. If he can secure a wipe here, Kissme, that means France is going to be up by over 1,000 points going into the finale on the US server, depending on what happens with the support.
Yeah, Team Paragon's really going to have to change things up going on to the next map, assuming the finale ends up in a double wipe or something of that nature. But yeah, Grin, very well-known player. His history in this game dates way back to the early days of it. He might have been an original player, actually, like one of the...
on France, yeah.
Yeah, one of the very... No, I'm talking about, like, in the game. I think he might have been one of the actual beginning players playing this game since its inception. But yeah, we'll see what Grin can do here with this tank. Once again, big player, big tank. And just throwing some sky rocks right now, seeing if he can land them on top of himself.
Let's see if he can actually hit. That one's really close, but one of the survivors is looking up. He's going to commit here. Smoker, Charger, Jockey. Same hit they used on the first chapter where they got that brilliant tri-cap. Tank managing to get his corner almost right away. Missing that second punch, though. Trying to knock Ellis in, and now he is going to be able to get that down. SI are going to come whipping in right now, I'm pretty sure. This time the Jockey gets shut down. We're going to see that Charger going in, but the tank has another corner as well. Charger going for the long charge, almost landing onto Rochelle, but Grin is going to lock up another corner here on Lucifer. Good amount of damage going. He still has about 900 HP. Throwing a rock around the pillar right here, managing to land it onto Vervance, almost getting the follow-up punch. Great damage by Grin in that area. However, the difference this time that set this tank apart from the first map fight for Paragon in the same spot is that they were able to shut down that SI and they were not able to get the 3 cap from Team France.
Indeed. So Team Paragon will be able to survive that tank and make their way to maybe, possibly the safe room. They have to go through a last couple set of hits here. So we'll see how well they can take them, or maybe they're just gonna eat them to the face. We'll have to wait and see. But this is gonna be a nasty hit. They have to actually go up this staircase ahead of them, and it's going to be a Jockey, Smoker, Charger, and a Spitter. Smoker for a pull in the back. Charger gets absolutely demolished though by the shotguns, it seems, of Team Paragon. And that, I don't really agree with that. I feel like the SI should have gone for the narrow choke point, that being the staircase. But, I mean, they saw something else, so they went for it, and it just didn't pay off. But it looks like that might be the safe room here for Team Paragon.
Yeah, you know, I really saw that the SI were going for something, maybe not even gimmicky, but just a little bit fancy there from the back, hoping the survivors would shift their attention forward, going for the pull charge from behind. But instead, that was one of the shutdowns from Paragon that, you know, they exhibited in the past that then got them ranked, you know, 14th, 13th overall, rather, in this tournament. But their survivor, I mean, maybe it's France's SI cohesion, maybe it's the way that France has played their tanks as well, but I've been kind of underwhelmed by Paragon's SI here, like by their survivor, rather. I think their SI has done an okay job, specifically their tanks, but again, the fact that they're behind over 600 points on their home server, they need to step it up, especially if we do end up switching over to that away game.
Let's go.
Yeah, without a doubt. This is pretty much Team Paragon's last chance to tie this up and then make babies on the away server, pretty much, because they gotta make a freaking miracle happen at this point. But we'll see if they can manage to, first of all, put a stop here to Team France and actually wipe them on one of them. Oh no, they did wipe them on map 2. I take that back. Wipe them for a second time in this match, and yeah. We'll see if they can make it happen. That's the first step here, and the second step would obviously be making the boat and closing that score gap little by little here. And yeah, bringing it to the away game. Maybe it'll be tied. Maybe it'll be, you know, a 1,000-point differential. We'll have to see what happens throughout the course of this last round here on map 5. Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the Bleed Out Tournament round number 2. Hard Rain is your map of choice. And obviously, we will be seeing Team France take on Team Paragon, NA versus France yet again. And the first hit out of safe room going to be a Hunter, Charger, a Boomer, and a Smoker. They're holding for a very weird position. I don't think the Smoker is really going to have a lot of help here with this car, because a lot of survivors just shoot the car anyway to get it out of the way while the event goes on.
I mean, this is an okay strat coming out from Paragon because they figured they would have gotten shut down, but there's the insta-clear going out. Charger really not in a position to capitalize, but gets a triple charge instead as the smoke goes out, proving everyone wrong right there, getting that 45 damage for the survivors to push in that direction. If they had a spit, that would have been great, but Kissme back-to-back triple charges in these 2 chapters.
This is absolutely insane. And actually, we see one player from Team Paragon disconnecting. Not too sure what's going on, but they haven't actually called for a pause yet either. And indeed, there it goes out. We're going to have to listen to that annoying car alarm going off and off here until he actually does come back and we can wait out that car alarm. Actually, you know,
Restart.
I'm just going to mute my sound. We're going to go with that.
Okay.
Oh, wait. No, we're going live. I'm going to unmute. And we're going.
All right, fantastic. So that first hit, again, would have been a lot more maximized had there been a spitter, but thanks to the coordination right there, they made a pretty tough situation to land a hit actually into a pretty darn good one. Obviously not reflected by the damage on the board due to the fact that the player who was the Charger had to reconnect, but Boomer, Charger, Hunter, and a Smoker, so another pretty good hit coming out from Paragon right here, at least potential-wise. Pull is going to go out onto Rochelle in the front, is going to get immediately cleared. Boomer is not going to be able to land much of anything. Charger not even going in yet. Hunter bouncing around is going to get skewed right there. Charger is going to get absolutely nothing.
Indeed, so very well taken there by Team France. Also, Team Paragon being a little disorganized there with that hit. They kind of weren't all in synchronization, and you know, obviously they were kind of at different points going in with that hit or actually making contact with the survivors. So we'll see Team France holding off the event a little bit longer here, kind of just hopping around, blocking spawns here and there, trying to make it a little bit harder for the outside to think of where they want to hit from. And yeah, it looks like they're going to start positioning themselves for another hit. They know that spawn times are up. And it's going to be a Jockey, Boomer, Smoker, Spitter. Looks like Jockey's working his way in from the ground in the back. Smoker looking for a pull onto one Stars. Does find it actually onto Grin there, pulling him against the electric generator. And that will be also the tank coming up in the hands of Lucifer, it seems.
Indeed, and now Lucy is going to have to do a lot of work here. It looks as though Everlasting did pause. He's going to have to reconnect. Maybe something's not working sound-wise or something's invisible. Who knows? But he is going to, the tank is going to probably climb to that roof and try to keep sight. But I don't know, Kissme, if you're in their position right here, decidingly behind on your home server, do you go for the wipe or do you go for a rock tank?
I would start things off with a rock tank. That's normally, I mean, that's just normally what I personally do. I see if I can try and land some rocks, let it wind down the second pass. And yeah, I honestly, I'd probably go for a rock tank. And in this specific situation, I would probably end up AIing the tank.
Okay.
Yeah, and honestly, I would probably just AI it, going with a quad cap, and actually rock connecting onto Coach. I'm not too sure what that was, but Kissme actually just eating a rock. There's a skeet coming out on the rock. I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he didn't know the round was live.
Keenum wasn't somebody who was crashed. Like, Everlasting was crashed. I would have had an issue if he hit the person who was crashed, but he hit somebody who was supposed to be paying attention and got a free rock. Hit going in, nice 25 damage. Pounce going out. Charter going there trying to land. What a rock by Lucifer. That was insane. That was on second.
Yeah, that was a perfect arc there by Lucifer right over the top lip of the restaurant. And indeed, he's going to be able to take the roof here against the survivors. And I'm not too sure they're aware that he's up there because he's actually crouched. Yeah, he was actually shift walking, so they don't feel the rumbles. They can hear, though.
Yeah, he's going in. He's on 15%. He's going to manage to almost get that punch on the Coach, pushing the survivors back, refocusing. Nice double boom going out, and there's the corner onto Everlasting, getting another punch onto him as well. Switching focus to Grin now, getting railed in the back. Plus on melee is out, missing that one punch. Turning around, managing to get the punch onto Grin, chasing Grin around now. Jockey going in. He has to either get out or he has to try to get another down here. He's going to get that down onto Keen. Turning around, refocusing onto Grin. Great amount of damage going out, Kissme, but no wipe.
Yeah, and as I was mentioning, if I was him, I probably would have pulled out right there. But Charger goes in and gets instantly leveled, though, by that pan on Rochelle. She does get that initial one punch, though, taken from that Charger because he just right-clicked her pretty much. But, yeah, if I were him, I probably would have started climbing out or looked for a way out and just started playing the bleed game after that because he had 3 survivors down in the bleed range. All those pills have been popped except for the one on Everlasting. And I would have just played bleed out. But once again, tanks play their own ways. His way could work out better. Who knows? Maybe they would have went hard Elvis. Nothing would happen. But nice double cap happening with a smoke and a Jockey. Jockey still lashed on the Coach. In fact, a lot of damage being pushed onto him. Spit goes down top of it as well, and that's going to cause a little bit more damage to him. Charger whiffs onto Nick, and the Smoker gets shot in the face with a buckshot from the shotgun of Ellis, I believe that was.
We should also mention at this point, for those wondering, that the reason why the points aren't really going up that much is due to the fact that this finale, I don't want to call it nerfed on Ace Mod, but it's definitely not worth as much. It's still about as difficult to complete, but because of the lack of water slowdown, the survivors have a lot more free range, and because of this and the way the schematics are, it's really, really, really tough to make the comeback here now, because I think the custom map distance is only like, what, 4 and 500, something like that? Yeah, 400.
Yeah, I think it's 400.
Yeah, there should be the boat actually relatively soon. I think it actually is going. Yeah, I see the boat coming in right now. It's only a couple more hits. This is definitely going to set up probably a similar score delta from the difference from the 4th map going into the next game if Team Paragon manages to make it. But maybe they could also shut down that tank and make it with a much higher bonus. Obviously, it's going to be about a 1,000-point gap going in, so Paragon is going to have to do a good amount of work on their survivor half here, even though it's not worth as much, as France does get onto the boat. And we'll see exactly how many points they have for this first half of the series on the North American server in a couple seconds. But I was still surprised a little bit because I didn't remember how nerfed this finale was until I just saw it. But that's going to bring their total score for this campaign to just over 3,100 points, 3,112 for the first game. Obviously the North American game of the expected doubleheader.
Indeed. And, once again, they could also always turn away the away game with Team France, but we'll see what ends up happening here. If they can make this boat with the nice health bonus, I don't think anyone would really want to not play the next game. But we'll see, once again, what happens when it's all said and done.
And you know, Paragon could do the same thing to France on the away server that France is doing to them right here.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, we saw a crazy week, or past week, I should say. So really, it wouldn't blow me away to see just that. But regardless, we're going live here, and there's something I wanted to mention. I can't remember what it was, though. Wasn't that?
The damage won't stop attacking.
The reason why the distance points are also so low on this. Actually, nice double charge happening with the trap. Kind of a tri-cap. That one survivor did get pinned up against the wall, and then obviously the other one went flying away. If the smoker landed on the last survivor, that would have been a lot more damage than it was. But even as it stands, a nice chip amount of damage going out from the hit. But once again, the reason why the distance is also somewhat low is because you're only fighting one tank. Whereas with a lot of other finales, you have that initial tank out of the safe room, and then you also have the one later on in the event. So, you know, with the lack of tanks, it's pretty much, you know, cut down on distance points for the finale.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, especially considering the fact I think it was like 600 before, and it still was only one tank. And at that point, you can see a good amount of comebacks actually coming out on the finale here. Hit going in, nice skeet going out by Adam right there. Charter going in, trying to get the survivor who was on the truck, not going to land. Spit goes down on nothing, and then Boomer actually is going to stumble a survivor back into Spit for a little bit of damage right here, but absolutely in no way, shape, or form can Paragon wipe on this tank.
Yeah, it's just unacceptable. They can't let that happen. If it does, Team France is going to be really in an empowering position going into the next game, once again, if it is elected to play. And, yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. And, yeah, this is going to be the only week that we'll be seeing hard rain as well in the tournament. Once again, no map will be played twice. And I am waiting to have some fun with the teams as I have to announce the group stage maps. But regardless, we'll have an attack coming in here, though. Everything getting shut down, including that smoker. Getting a brief pull onto Rochelle, but quickly being cleared off by her teammate coach. And tank will be up in the hands of Everlasting here for the final map of Team Paragon's home server.
Indeed, and Everlasting, if I'm him right here, I'm going to do probably what you mentioned besides the AI in the tank part. I would just try to get as much damage as possible. Don't do anything too risky. Like, you can try for the wipe with hittables or something like that, but at the same point in time, since you have that advantage and you've played so well so far in the SI side of things, you can probably just play it as you want to. Charter going in, not going to be able to land. Jockey does land, quickly cleared. Rock going in, not going to land. And these clears we saw in the past couple hits, at least so far in the finale from Paragon, have been a little bit more motivated, I would say, than the ones that we saw earlier in the game, obviously because of France's stellar SI. But besides that one charge at the beginning there, we really haven't seen a whole lot of damage go out. If they can shut this tank down and only take like 1 or 2 in-caps and then make the boat with what they have, it would make up for a very, very interesting proposition if we move the game too.
Most certainly. And can you keep talking for 1 minute? I just have to make a quick call.
Absolutely. So we're going to see that Boomer getting popped. Smoker running around on the side right there. Nice double cap landing below just momentarily. And the rock does go in. Does not get skied, however, does also not get damage because of the God frames from the Hunter right there. Good amount of damage going out onto Adam, though, from that smoker pole, and that did obviously refill Everlasting's rage meter back to full. He is going to get LOS now by Paragon as they drop down inside. He is now going to throw a rock at Survivor who is climbing the ladder. Actually, it's going to catch that Survivor in the face as well with said rock. Adam not able to get the skeet right there. That's going to refill his frustration and also get that nice amount of damage as the next hit for Team France. It's going to be a Boomer, Jockey, and a Charter coming up. Everlasting, this is exactly what I wanted to see. There's the Jockey going out in the back. Charter going for an intercept. You're going to fall down the hole instead. Boomer going to get nothing. Almost another rock landing. And now, since those SI have gone down, Paragon are going to LOS, and they really, really need to force this tank in at this point before any kind of bleed starts and before the tank gets any more capitalization on what's happening here. Charter running around on the roof as well, trying to intercept one of the survivors down below, and this should force the tank to second pass. Never mind, actually. They've already jumped back onto the roof. You can see the Charter trying to get something down below, still making noise, distracting, but it looks as though they're going to take another hit now before Paragon LOS's. Rock going in, not managing to land. Double cap did land momentarily, and now Paragon are going to drop back, probably go into the hard LOS onto this tank. They figure he's probably either close to second pass or is already desperate for rage, and he is going to go second right now as Kissme returns to us.
Hello. So
Hello.
What has happened so far with tank?
So
I actually
tank
see a
landed
tank.
a couple rocks, and now he's going to be forced in.
I do see that. Down to 35% rage now. 30 now. 25 is Everlasting's tank. Nice double boom landing. That's going to spell quite a bit of a disaster here for the survivors. They do a good job of staying on the rooftop as long as they can, though. Circling where the charger did spawn. Tank actually falls down. Nick's head. He's under 1,000 HP. Hasn't landed a hit just yet. Does land one punch. The only punch he got was onto Rochelle. Beautifully cut there. Charger does take one charge or one survivor way off the building, and that will be Coach Verbansky taking a lot of damage there. Actually dropping down. I believe he was in the yellow. No, he was like mid-green, I think.
If they make the boat with this, though, that would be a great turnaround from Paragon. That would give them, like, maybe between 200 and 300 more points to add up to that differential that they are going to be facing going into the second game. Obviously, a great take right there. The Uzis, even though they didn't have slowdown, they were able to keep their distance from the tank, and he only got that single punch, as you did mention. The SI did land some nice separation, but now we are going to see another hit coming in from France. Hunter landing for a stumble right there. Spit's going to go down onto just an edge of Nick. Boomer does get popped. Smoker gets cleared. And if Paragon can just take like one more hit successfully, this is going to make it pretty much only maybe, I don't know, 600 points or something like that going into the second game. And that is definitely recoverable, as we have seen from the past week of games.
Yeah, I mean, if you add 170 onto them right now, that will give them a 570. You put the 570 on top of their score as it stands, and that gives them like a 2730 or something, I think. So that would put them, what, like a little under 400 points away. So that's pretty much virtually tied across the span of 5 maps. You might as well just call it virtually tied. But anyway, ooh, beautiful clear there by Coach at the very end of that smoker tongue. Charger almost taking Rochelle, who is one of the bleed out survivors further away from everyone else. But the survivors will go ahead and clear off that last hit. That should be boat for them. They're sitting at a health bonus of 29%, damage bonus of 95%, and then pills obviously at 75%. So they're sitting pretty high up there right now. Still at around a 400. They're hovering it.
Yeah, this is going to be the last hit from France for this first game, and they obviously need to make a count here because their lead is going to be diminished quite a bit. Jockey, Spitter, Smoker is not really the hit to do it, though. They're probably going to hope that that Boomer is going to get them something else by the time they go in. Jockey making noise, LOL, as if the survivors can hear it. It's probably silent, and that's why no one's turning towards it. But the survivors are just going to decide to play it safe, clearing that horde. That is going to give France maybe the fourth spawn by the time the survivors start pushing. It's going to be close. Smoker coming in from the back as that Jockey's on the side. There's the charger that they probably won. Adam is caught. Pull going out onto Ellis right there. Jockey going in, managing to land onto Adam is going to get cleared. Spit and Charge still both waiting, trying to spawn right here desperately. Spit's going to go in and block the front. Charger going in, managing to catch Ellis, but it is not going to be the kill. He is bonus, however, and he's probably going to get repulled right here. Spitter gets the scratch, and the tongue goes for Coach for whatever reason. That actually did a really, really interesting amount of damage to the survivors right there. I wasn't expecting it, but we'll see what their final total is going into the second game, because I think it's going to be, give or take, 600? Oh, no. Less than 500 points going into game 2.
Yeah, and still over the course of 5 maps, that might as well just be virtually tied, because that's incredibly close. And, yeah, I mean, even though it was Team Paragon's home server, Team France did take the W here on the first game. So we'll see what happens going into the next server. And obviously, Hard Rain, yet again, we will be seeing. And, yeah, let me go ahead and attempt to stream this next game to start things off. So I would like to thank you guys for tuning in to this cast. Rails, do you have any shout outs you would like to put on this VOD?
Not right now. I'd just like to thank everyone for watching, thank the teams for playing, thanks the admins for adminning, and of course the streamer and my co-caster, Mr. Kissme, for covering that game. And we are going to see you shortly for Game 2. I just got invited to a lobby.
Nice. We shall return in one moment, guys. Hopefully the stream works. If not, it's going to be another recorded game. And, yeah, let's see what happens.